You're watching Saturday Night at the Video, and our very special guest this evening, one of them, a group out of Knoxville, Tennessee, Hard Knocks. And gentlemen, welcome to Nashville and Saturday Night at the Video.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Glad to be here. Okay, now you are Don Murray. I just found out just a moment ago. This is Don. Why don't you introduce everybody else in the band?
This is Jay Martin, drums, Daniel Leslie, guitar, and I forgot, what's your name?
Gene Hadley.
Oh yeah, Gene Hadley.
Hadley.
Gene Hadley on lead, okay.
We called it Hard Knocks. I spelled it K-N-O-X. Automatically, we were the cult heroes from here because we were the hometown band, and it just it went crazy. And it was all about partying and having fun. And I mean, our hair was tall, yeah, but the whole point was to try to look not normal. It came from the early 70s. I mean, it had been around 10 years ago. Just a lot of people weren't old enough to remember it, but the New York Dolls was one of the first American glam bands, and it wasn't so much glam back then. It was street trash. They were street trash rock and roll junkies. So the early 70s with Alice Cooper, specifically Alice Cooper in 1972, Mark Bolan and T-Rex in 72, and New York Dolls, they were doing the glam thing then. So basically the 80s just borrowed from it and just took it one step farther and tried to look as different from normal society as you possibly could. See, WOKI started playing our record, full rotation. They were playing us 4 times a day, and we were number 1 3 nights in a row. We were in the top 10 for 2 weeks in a row. We beat out Motley Crue, Huey Lewis, Prince. I mean, we were beating all these established players on the radio. Record stores were doing outside shows. We were doing autograph sessions. So Knoxville really took to us. Now, you know, that scene, we looked outrageous, and it fit in great. And it was all about partying, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I mean, and I had a blast. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. We couldn't get all our fans into any clubs in town. There wasn't any big enough. So what we would do is we'd rent out a skating rink, and we'd put 3,000 kids in that skating rink. At $5 a head, that was a good show. The biggest show we played here was, they used to have a thing called Saturday Night on the Town, and they'd roped the whole downtown area off. There was 150,000 people there that night, and we headlined that show. And there was a big riot, and like 3 people got killed, and it was just total chaos. But they never had another Saturday Night on the Town after that. I think they had one recently a couple years ago, but 1985 was the last one they had. They didn't have another one for, I guess, 15 years, and we were the reason, we were the cause of that. And LA was really kicking. So Nashville was wanting another Motley Crue because all this was happening out in LA, and Nashville wanted some of this. So they were trying to find another Motley Crue or another Rat, and we were the ones they picked. So because we looked just like Motley Crue, MCA Records, they were like the main ones that were into it, and we had a big meeting with them, and a few of us had a little too much to drink, and it kind of made some of them mad. And they pretty much passed on that. I mean, it was a $25,000 deal with 3 albums and 3 videos. That was I think the package. I mean, it would have done us all right, but there were still other labels that wanted us. But just, you know, some people in the band were upset about it, and it pretty much broke the band up. Me and the bass player went one way, the guitar player and drummer went that way.
Seems like a lifetime every time I let it all go. Searching for salvation.
It's called A Lifetime and a Day, and it's sums up a lot of struggling on my part just to make it through the musician world and life in general, but I've done a lot of living, and most people go through one lifetime. I think I've lived a few, so one lifetime plus a day.
To you, and when you go down, you better hope you like the view. One day you look around, and no one's looking back at you, 'cause they all know been a lifetime and a day. Once the night and the stage lights showed me the way. I always had to be on top. I guess some things never change. But it's not that I'm trying to prove I'm better than you. No, it's more the fear of the emptiness if I ever let that feeling go. Cause when you fall down, there's not a second thought for you. And when you go down, you better hope you like the view. One day you'll look around and no one's looking back at you. Cause they all know you've been a lifetime and a day. Lifetime and a day. Trying to make amends for all the evil that you sinned. Another day. Wondering if I who you screwed will soon be coming back to do another day. Knowing everyone you loved didn't push back when you shoved. Another day. It's been a lifetime and a day. When you fall down, there's not a second thought for you. And when you go down, you better hope you like the view. One day you'll look around and no one's looking back at you. Cause they all know you've been a lifetime and a day. You've been a lifetime and a day.
Nothing. There's one end on his end. Nothing. Jesus. All right. Cool.
It's funny that one of the biggest bands I was in, or the best bands, was out of Knoxville, and then 15 years later I wound up in a university in Knoxville, but now I'm leaving it. Goodbye.